With the broad appeal of the Nintendo Switch, there's a very real possibility that a discussion might happen as to whether Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury is actually on par or better than Super Mario Odyssey. Look, I know the business of games may not be the preferred topic of discussion when talking about something that otherwise is so joyous, but there are only so many superlatives available to a critic, and I want to space things out a little bit, okay? Ranking 3D Mario platformers aside, I truly envy anyone playing Super Mario 3D World for the first time. This is a game that has enough unique and new ideas in it for 5 or 6 games in any other series. Starting with the obvious star of the show, the Super Bell turns Mario into Cat Mario and ushered in an entirely new way of platforming in the series, and I do think it paved the way for Cappy, allowing Mario to almost fly across the worlds created by Nintendo for Odyssey. Then there's the double cherry, cloning the player multiple times over, cannon boxes, light blocks, Goomba masks, and you can even pick up a potted piranha plant that can eat enemies for you. On top of all that, you've got returning items like the Mega Mushroom, Propeller Box and Boomerang Flower, and that proves how many ideas went into the 3DS title, Super Mario 3D Land, which I'd love to see revisited somehow as well one day. But Super Mario 3D World is pure happiness in gaming form. Even as someone who did everything available in the original Wii U release, levels would wow me over and over again as I played through this new version. Even in the first world, there's such ingenuity that it's hard not to fall head over heels for this game. Despite being recognisable with its overworld map and distinct levels, there's just so much here. Captain Toad makes an appearance with unique puzzle levels which spawned an entire game in Captain Toad Treasure Tracker, and that's what I mean about the amount of ideas on offer being enough for multiple games in any other series. It is fit to burst with creativity, and honestly, it's brilliant to see probably the best Wii U game being given a proper chance with the audience base of the Switch. Where the main game here follows the tried and true progression from lush greenery through desert ice and everything in between, the gameplay feels different. Yes, it's still a platformer, and no, you aren't going to suddenly forget the language of a Mario game, but it feels instantly faster than almost every other title. The Super Mario Bros. 2 school of character selection is back in play. Mario is an all-rounder, Luigi jumps higher, Peach can float, and Toad is Speedy Gonzales in Toad form, but even Mario feels quicker and more responsive here. Movesets are slightly different, but there's still a feeling of control Super Mario 3D World offers that I sincerely appreciate. The original Wii U title had touch controls for some smaller sections, and you can indeed use the Switch in handheld mode for these, but docked it's a simple case of hitting the shoulder button and using the inbuilt motion controls. It's elegant and it works well, but the gimmickry of the Wii U was never overused in this game anyway. It's also worth noting that the catsuit dive can still be cancelled in midair, and those that know what that means, well, they know what that means. New to the Switch version is an online multiplayer mode for up to 4 players. Offline co-op is exactly as much madness as it is in games like New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe, but the 3D plane offers a little more chance for calm. If someone gets too far ahead, the others will be bubbled up and warped to the advanced player, and the online play doesn't fix this. It's smooth, don't get me wrong, but it's a shame they didn't borrow the idea of Super Mario Maker 2's co-op, where you can even go off-screen in a pipe and carry on playing separately from your partners. Honestly, it feels as though Nintendo knows some sort of bizarre secret about the multiplayer in Mario games, but they're not telling us, because while it's a good laugh with like-minded people, it remains a bit of an annoyance after a while and generally feels a bit superfluous. Probably the biggest draw to this re-release is Bowser's Fury, an entirely new mode that feels somewhere between Super Mario Odyssey and Super Mario Sunshine, only if they were both Super Mario 3D World in theme. Everything on Lake Lapcat is cat-based. Everything. The trees, the flowers, and even enemies have been altered to be cat-like. Lake Lapcat is a fairly large, seamless open world in the form of an archipelago. Each island has 5 available cat shines on it, and Fury Bowser will appear on an unseen timer to mess up your plans and chase you around. You can eventually turn into Giga Cat Mario to fend him off, but I'm going to say no more about that so you can discover it for yourself, and I'm not even going to talk about how the story progresses for fear of spoilers here. What I will say is that I was pleasantly surprised by how long Bowser's Fury is. Each island begins pretty simply with basic cat shines to collect, but similar to Odyssey, the areas have unique shines, and there are also plenty off the beaten path that aren't part of the levels. For example, the lovable cross between a Plesiosaurus and Loch Ness Monster, Plessy, is back, and there's plenty of mini levels that require riding Plessy to get cat shines to add to your total. Bowser's Fury isn't particularly tough, and really the only difficulty comes from some of the later platforming sections, but again, we're not talking even close to the darker side of the moon style here. As for Bowser himself, at the start of his appearance, it's exciting and new. The boss fight offers yet another idea in a series that has too many boss fights to even count. Towards the close of the game, mind you, when you're just purely hunting shines and have seen the credits, his appearance is of mild irritation, and you're better off just letting him kill you so he appears because his job's been done. The only punishment for death here is taking coins off you, eliminating the feeling of true peril once you understand the systems. Power-ups can be held in Bowser's Fury, which is an interesting take. Up to 5 of the 5 available power-ups are in your inventory, and a press of the up button on the D-pad allows you to select them at will. I spent most of my time as Cat Mario, though the Tanuki suit's ability to float helps later on. Bowser Jr. is your AI buddy for this new game, and he can be set to be of different assistant levels, almost akin to a difficulty setting, or even controlled by a local co-op partner. This co-op mode almost breaks the game a bit, because as long as you keep Bowser Jr. within a certain visual range, your pal can just send him off to grab things you'd otherwise have to platform towards. Bowser's Fury is incredibly strange, yet it also gave me one of my favourite moments in a game in a long time. It feels like an experiment that's successful enough that I killed the battery in my Switch twice hunting shines, and that I completed 100% of it, such was the obsession it created within me. I didn't expect it to be this good or to offer as much content as it does. I wonder if it was originally supposed to be part of the Super Mario 3D All-Stars package, because it feels strange and it's a completely separate option when you boot the game up. It's entirely cat-based, so is a heavy dose of Super Mario 3D World, but ignoring the cats for a moment, it really does feel way more like a massive piece of Super Mario Odyssey DLC that never made it out of the door. Perhaps it got too big. It's superb, highly playable, polished, and honestly, really confusing given how rarely Nintendo do this much work on a re-release. But in truth, if you've been following our channel or our website for a long time, you may have read my original review of the game for Wii U 7 long years ago, so you probably already know how I feel about Super Mario 3D World. But what I didn't expect is how fresh this entire package feels again in 2021. As a package, it's only rivaled by Super Mario Odyssey itself, widely regarded as perhaps the best 3D Mario on offer. Yet the sheer creativity within the actual level design here makes 3D World stand out and stand alone. Yes, the archetypes of Mario level designs are here, but the playing around with shadows, with hidden blocks, the sheer joy of it all, it makes Super Mario 3D World an essential purchase for everyone. Frankly, this is one of the best games Nintendo has ever made, and it's going to be fantastic seeing it finally get the adulation it deserves. Way back in 2013, I said the Wii U version was beautiful, colourful, amusing, and bereft of any cynicism whatsoever. And look, if you don't need that in your life right now, I don't know what to tell you, because bar the multiplayer elements, this might just be one of those elusive, truly perfect video games. Which is why it's getting a massive 10 out of 10 score. And hey, if you enjoyed this video and are new to our channel, then make sure you click subscribe and the bell button so you don't miss another video just like this. If you are a returning viewer, know that we have a Patreon, patreon.com/GodIsAGeek, where you get videos early, exclusive content, and all sorts of things. We offer a Discord as well for people to chat, which seems to be a haven of positivity, which is nice. And hey, leave a comment in the comments below if you are excited for this game or if you're not picking it up. Whatever, we'd love to hear from you and what you think, what you're grabbing, what you think of games. We love to read it. Thanks so much for your time, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.